Hi, today we'd like to introduce you to our project FeedBee. My name is Rana Tiwari,
And I'm Ryder Sewell.
and we are both computer science students here at the university. We're building FeedBee, a platform that gives students a voice in the classroom and empowers teachers by giving them access to analytical and actionable feedback. Our story actually began almost a year ago when I was able to do a program called Dare to Dream, where I talked to university academic leaders and over 25 high school teachers from around the state of Michigan to research issues related to education. It was through this program that I reunited with one of my favorite high school teachers, Mr. Langley, a finalist for the 2015 Presidential Award for Teaching. He told me how he and many other teachers were unable to get feedback from their students, and as a result, they felt disconnected and unable to adapt their teaching. Furthermore, as students, it's hard for us to get teachers to recognize our ideas and gain agency in the classroom. Being an innovative teacher, Mr. Langley created a system where he handed out slips of paper every week where he'd ask us to rate our knowledge on a scale of 1 to 4 on the unit's learning goals. He would then manually input these into Google spreadsheets and graph out the scores over time, using the growth to measure how well he was doing at teaching and how well the students were understanding the material. However, this process takes a lot of time and effort, and teachers are already swamped with pressures and responsibilities. But this did definitely spark our idea. This year, we participated in the Optimize Innovation Challenge to refine the idea and begin working on it. And that leads us to where we are right now.
To clarify, the problem we set out to solve was the lack of a systematic feedback loop between students and teachers. This missing piece leaves students feeling alienated and under pressure in school. Meanwhile, teachers are unable to adapt and tailor their content and methods to best help their students. This isn't just a problem at certain high schools either. $2.2 billion are spent yearly on teacher turnover, and 51% of teachers thought that the performance reviews from school leaders were minimal to not at all useful. The feedback they currently receive is not actionable, as it doesn't well represent what their students think, and it also often comes too late. Furthermore, there are numerous peer-reviewed studies that conclude how effective student feedback is, with one popular one saying it is the single most valuable source of data with regards to teacher effectiveness. As we all know, teachers have such a crucial influence on the next generation, so why are they faced with such a lack of resources to help them succeed? In short, our solution is to create a web platform where teachers can post short feedback forms at a frequency of their choice with questions of their choice, and then can receive detailed feedback and analytics that show their growth and improvement, as well as key highlights and areas to focus on. To give an example, say at the beginning of the semester, Mr. Langley creates a feedback form with some general questions, multiple choice or short answer, about maybe his teaching methods using every class. This could include anything from the speed at which he's speaking to the method he uses to deliver content. This form is sent out at a frequency of his choice, and for each unit, he can create content-specific questions, such as which unit topics they need to more review on, and these get appended to his feedback form for the duration of that unit. His students then fill out these forms on their dashboard, shown to the right. These will then give Mr. Langley detailed insight at his chosen frequency on what his students need help understanding content-wise, as well as how to tailor his overall teaching strategies. On his teacher dashboard, he can see the data compiled by his general semester questions, which would show his teaching improvement over time. And if he goes to his past forms, he can see data on the content-specific questions for each unit for more immediate feedback. As of right now, we are building our prototype, and in June we want to start getting ready for testing. For testing, we plan to reach out to our old teachers from high school, as well as schools in more underprivileged areas in LA, where my aunt and uncle teach. Throughout the summer, we will contact teachers for input and refine the site by September. The goal is to have the site running for about a month before school starts, so we can show teachers and ask about any last-minute changes. From September to December, we will be receiving periodic feedback and publishing monthly updates to the site. By the first semester of 2021, we will be launching our final product for use. There are a couple future issues we plan to get ahead of. The first is the potential steep learning curve of using FeedBee. To prevent this, we plan on simplifying the user interface and asking testers for tips on how to make the process simple for first-time users. The second issue we thought of is unmotivated students. Now, this is a problem bigger than we set out to address, but we plan on limiting the number of questions and encouraging teachers to motivate students with points. The final large issue we will address is unmotivated teachers. To solve this, we primarily will sell to schools and districts as a whole, where admins will be able to monitor teacher progress if they so choose.
When considering our market, we decided to compare on the 7 keys for effective feedback. Since there isn't really a product designed for high school use, which was a big reason we came up with the idea in the first place, we decided to compare it against Google Forms and Blue Arrow. the tool that the University of Michigan uses for evaluations. We think that our platform enables teachers to hit most, if not all, criteria for effective feedback, particularly ongoing, with the ability to set a recurring time period for forms, as well as actionable and goal reference, with highlights of important feedback, as well as teachers being able to see how their ratings change as they actually implement the feedback. So really quickly, we also just wanted to touch on why we think that we're the right people to solve this issue. First, we've done the research. We spoke to people like Tim McKay, the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education here at the university, and Paul Robinson, the head registrar, and interviewed over 25 teachers from around the state, who all confirmed the reality of this issue. As both computer science majors, we also think that our background is well suited to this task, because we think that this is an issue that can at least be partially addressed with technology. Of course, we recognize that we are not experienced in educational design, but we will seek out help from those who are more knowledgeable in this area when needed. Third, we are resourceful. From poring through hundreds of tutorials online to finding people on Reddit to calls for hours on end to help us debug our code, we push ourselves to get results. And finally, we are passionate. We personally empathize with students and teachers, and we know that if we were back in high school when this project existed, we would be the biggest champions of it. And before we end, I'd like to share this quote from a famous German poet. The world of knowledge takes a crazy turn when teachers themselves are taught to learn. We know that we are not the entire solution to such an expansive issue, but we do want to be a part of it. Yes, we might just be two teenagers from Novi, Michigan, but someone needs to take a step in the right direction. Why not us? Thank you for your time and consideration.